Well, say hello to everybody. Yes. Hi. This is just Mr. I don't have a name for him. Right now it's just currently Mr. Hey y'all. Sassy Homesteader here, present and accounted for. I am not dead. However, we did have a death on our little homestead here, and I was not quite prepared for it, and quite frankly I don't know if it wasn't my fault. Let me explain. So over here I just introduced you to Mr. So Mr. really doesn't have a name yet because, well, I'm kind of beside myself. I had a whole Lucy and Desi thing going on here. Ooh, that might be a good name, Desi. Let's think about that one. And Fred, Ethel, Lucy, and baby Ricky died. And I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why. I have no clue. So, I got some explaining to do. So let me explain. We had a brief, it was very brief, break in the weather. And some of you may or may not be able to give me ideas or hints or whatever, but I think I know the culprit. So I moved, since we had the break in the weather, I moved all the bunnies over into basically the summer cages, out of the winter ones. And I had cleaned all of the cages out nice and clean. And this is where I think I went wrong. Not necessarily wrong, but here we go. So after I got done cleaning them, I sprayed them all down. The weather was in the 60s. It was beautiful. And so sprayed them all down, let them dry out, and I dusted all of them with fossil flower, the Damascus earth, or however it's said. I call it fossil flower. So I dusted it with it. And I think that gave him a respiratory thing, because I checked him for bloat. I checked him for bugs and this and that, and all of the stuff he was eating normally. And then one day he just wasn't eating as normally. Okay, well, he's never been a big eater, never was. Just, he would nibble, he wouldn't eat the whole half a cup of food, because he's a smaller bunny. So couldn't figure it out. It was like, what in the friar tuck? That's weird. Checked his water source. He had ample water. Their water runs on the gravity lines. There should have been nothing. There was nothing to indicate that he was in distress, except for he didn't eat much. So I watched him, made sure he had extra. He ate some kale and some other things, and he was fine. And then the next day, he just sat in like the back corner. And he didn't even move when I came out here, which was really odd, very unlike all of them. And so I tried to pet him, and he didn't jump away. He just sat there. It was super weird. Then I had put in some grass for all of the bunnies, just because it got a little bit cooler, and he had buried himself in it. So he was moving, but he just buried himself in it. I'll try to remember to put a picture of that in the comments. And so that was day 2. Day 3, I had been checking everything. I checked him for bloat. I even did the belly rub on him. I, did some other, things that people say. And I just saw like the light in his eyes was gone. And I know some of you are like, it's a freaking bunny. I don't care. I honestly don't care what you think. My animals, I love my animals. Yes, there is a rating scale. I adore my goats. Yes, that's devastating. Oh gosh, my goats. But my bunnies, they're here for a purpose too. Just like the chickens, so I wake up in the afternoon, I guess. But they all have a purpose here. Every animal, every species has a purpose on our homestead. There's no free rides here, people. So Ricky just buried himself in there, and then I decided to scoop him up and kind of love on him, see if, I don't know. I prayed over him, really, and pet him and check things. There was nothing from his rectum that looked wrong. His belly was soft and pliable. There was just nothing except for his breathing was shallow. So, as I put him into a more secure, protective cage, I was literally watching him just wither up and die. And I had talked to Jesus about it, and I was like, look, I really don't want to do this. Like, I am not prepared for this. This is a very busy day. I don't have time to devote to really dispatching him and then checking organs. And so I canceled some appointments, and because this is my homestead, it is a major priority, and I need to take care of it and be the best steward I can be. I promised God, I promised these animals, each and every individual one of them, and I cleared my calendar and was finishing up a task, gonna come home and let him go. And that was the only humane thing to do. And I told Jesus, I said, this one I'm just really not ready for. So if you're gonna do this, can you just expedite it? Help me out. And I came out, and Ricky was dead. Kind of a bummer. So, that's Ethel's bunny mate. So, he went to bunny heaven. I know he went to bunny heaven because, I'm a believer. And he knows I would never try to do anything wrong to him. Hang on a second. That kind of made me sound like a vegetarian. I'm not. They have a purpose. He was my breeder. He was going to be my breeder. He had work to do. And so I gave that love and devotion to a breeder, something that was going to sustain, help make kits, so we can fill our bellies as well when and if we need to. Also, we had people that were wanting to buy bunnies, and so it was a source of income and to be passing down the California lineage. So I even talked to the breeder that I got Ricky from, and she was just as baffled. Like, God bless Emily. He was such a good bunny, and he had such a good demeanor about him. However, we were both baffled. So now we have Mr. This is Mr. And come here. You can come over here. He's a little more feisty than Ricky, which is okay. Feisty and sassy is like perfect on this homestead. So, yeah, hi. Hi. I see you. Oh, your ears are looking much better. So, segue. Miss Lucy had terrible ear mites all the way up. Her ear was hanging down. I'm going to tell you what I used. And some are going to go, yeah. And some are going to go, that's not appropriate. You need to go to the vet. Well, I didn't go to the vet. Okay. You can just shut that down right now, because I'm chock full. Like, people, I'm chock full. So what I did, I went and since I make soap, I had, you're getting with it. She was supposed to have babies. She's going to move from the birthing cage today. So she knows bouncing around as much as she can. Anyway, so I make soap. So I have castor oil. I make the goat milk soap. I have castor oil and different types of oils of how I make my soap. And I took castor oil and I put it in here with probably about 15, hang on, I think this is what, 2 ounces, with like 15 drops of tea tree oil. And she is doing much better, much better. I'm actually going to give her another dose today before she moves back into her regular home. So that was awesome. I just dumped a whole bunch in there, smooshed it around, give her a little, and that's a technical term. Look it up. Anyway, sorry, I needed to distract myself. But you probably can't see it. He bounces around in there. So Mr. back there flailing around, he is my new breeder. He needs a couple more months to be a big boy, if you get what I mean. Anyway, and we'll see how it goes. So wish us luck, because we have not had any kits yet. Not one. And I've only bred 4 times. But there's going to be some shaking going on. Oh yeah, do you see my messy? I'm redoing that again. Anyway, but, and I got to do some more things with the menagerie. Got the bungalow all painted and cutified, but you hear them chickens, right? So that's what happened. I think the I think the fossil flower, since it's so fine and so tiny, I think it got in to his lungs since he was still fairly little. He was like 16 weeks or so. And I think it must have gotten into his lungs. Like I missed a poof of it. And I think it cut off his respiratory system. Um, you Fossil flower is so great for so many different things. However, if you ever see anybody poofing their farm animals, that is a no-no, because those microscopic little shards that kill the bugs and slugs and the thises and that's, they can eat away at your lungs. Even big people, like real humans. I have much bigger lungs than those little tiny bunnies. And I think there had to be, and I don't know, so I can't swear to Jesus on this one. That is my best guess, because the sequence in time correlates. So I feel like I accidentally killed Ricky. I really didn't mean to. So it was a lot for me to process. I'm a hick, you know. I've seen a lot of human death. I've seen dead things. I've purposely made things dead. You know, I hunt fish and, you know, do those things, and we have chickens, and some of them need to not be, but they need to be supper. But that was not intentional. And it took me a minute. I'm going to be real honest. It took me a minute to process. Um, this is a farm. I get it. I'm not stupid. Things live and things die. But I'm the one that holds responsibility for this. So, it made me sad. Made me feel like I was a failure, and how could I come back on here and tell you guys that I accidentally killed my bunny trying to do the best thing I could for my bunnies, and I killed them. I think I killed them. And it makes me feel like crap, like big doo-doo crap. So anyway, I felt like a hypocrite. Because I keep telling you guys, you're going to fail and you're going to win, and you're going to fail and then you're going to win again, and you're going to win again, and you're going to win again. And I felt like such a failure. It was like trying to revive that Lola's third birth, that baby. And if you follow me, I tried to save something that I knew could not and should not be saved. Anyway, I have a huge heart for animals. We're stewards here to take care of them. And I feel like I failed, and I feel like I failed you guys. But that's not true. That's not true. If I had ill intentions, I would have failed. I didn't have one single iota of an ill intention. And you can take that to the bank. But you need to be prepared on your homestead, whether it be a mini, whether it be a ginormous, whatever. You need to be prepared for death. If you have a heart like mine, I love Jesus. I love most people. I tolerate a lot. And this one, an innocent, you don't harm the innocent, whether it be animal or human. You don't. And I felt like a failure. I know I'm not. I have a very logical mind, but I let those emotions get the best of me. So I didn't fail. I learned. And I thank Ricky Bunny. And I thank God for teaching me something very valuable. It's pay attention. Even when things are natural and herbal, pay attention to their chemical compounds if you are using them. Know what you know. Know what you know. And I knew that. I knew that. But I thought I'm going to sit here and beat myself up for the millionth time, y'all. I had my friend, bless his heart. He's like, hey, sis, haven't seen any posts. Are you all right? Yeah, brother, I'm all right. I just had a moment with some girl feels, and it sucked. So, for those that have checked in, you're amazing, you're awesome, and I just absolutely adore you. You guys are fantastic. So the Sassy Homesteader has other social media sites, and it kind of went dark there for a minute. So I'll get it back. I'm getting in my head back together. So anyway, we have Mr. now. I don't know, maybe his name is Desi. Hang on, one might stick. Let me know what you think. Desi? I mean, we got the whole Lucy, I love Lucy thing going on over here. So anyway, everybody else is doing fine. Marty is thriving. He's got a little wonky thing going on, but we're gonna take charge of that. They're all hiding up in the milk room up there. They're just playing around. Chickens are doing good. The boys are doing good. The garden is wet. But we're doing some more things here, people. This weather, it hasn't quit raining. We thought about building an ark. Kind of funny. We have more baby chicks that just hatched. We had one hatch last night, so that was kind of fun. I'll post that video of watching that for those of you who've never seen a chick being hatched. I hadn't either, but we're doing okay, and we have some beautiful blooms happening. Just God is good, and He reminds us every day that there's still beauty. So hang in there and take care of yourself. May love, peace, and blessings fill your heart, fill your soul. Take care of one another, and don't ever give up. Just don't do it. You got this. Let me know about the Desi. Peace.